The whole reason Kevin Walsh was picked by Trump was because he agreed that he would cut interest rates. Trump wants rates low, much like Truman, who already had rates low, but he wanted to keep them lower. Trump wants them low. He wants them down. So Kevin Walsh said, I'll cut rates, Trump. And Trump said, you're hired. I almost said you're fired. You're hired. So Kevin Walsh's goal, his whole reason for existing as a Fed chairman, is to cut rates. But at Powell's last FOMC meeting, there were dissenters, 4 of them. Now, you have to understand how rare this is, by the way. You almost never get even one dissenting vote at a Fed meeting. Most meetings are unanimous. They just follow whatever the Fed chairman says. But Powell's last meeting matched the most dissenting votes the Fed has had for the last 33 years, 4 of them. So let me explain how the Fed works. The Fed has 12 voting members. Normally, all 12 toe the party line. They do whatever the chairman says. But last month, 3 of them voted against the same thing, and 1 voted the other way. So they voted against the committee's statement that there was a bias towards a lowering borrowing costs. Now, I'll translate that for you. They basically said that they're not cutting rates. Hammack said, I see this clear easing bias as no longer appropriate given the outlook. Translation, we're not cutting. But that's only 3 of the dissenters. The 4th was Stephen Mirren, a Fed governor and Trump's own appointee. He dissented in the opposite direction. He wanted a 1/4 point cut right there and then. So Kevin Walsh is about to take the job with a goal to cut rates. 3 of his board members are saying, we're not cutting. So, and also Powell, by the way, Powell likely doesn't want to cut. So that makes 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. There's a good chance some other voting members are just going to vote on the side of Powell because they like Powell better. But what makes this even more complicated for Walsh is that Stephen Mirren, the only support for cutting that Walsh had, he has to leave. He actually just resigned yesterday because for Powell to stay, someone has to go. And that guy is Mirren. So Walsh is losing the only ally he had and gaining a sworn enemy in Powell. So the 3 who said they weren't cutting, plus Powell, makes 4, like I said. If 3 more refuse to cut, that makes 7, a majority. And then for the first time in the history of the Federal Reserve, a chairman might get outvoted. Welcome to the job, Kevin. I hope you like it. By the way, guys, if you want to stay updated with what's happening on the markets and my personal strategies, make sure you subscribe to my free newsletter. Like I said, it's free. I publish a report on everything you need to know about the markets every single morning. Basically, I read 20 to 30 articles. I summarize them so you don't have to. There's a link below.